The Pentagon war planners have rightfully said that 90% of modern warfare is informational. That's why it's more important than ever that all of you watching subscribe on YouTube, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter at Real Alex Jones, because InfoWars is the front line of the fight. And without your help and support, we will fail. With your support and with your prayers, we will be victorious against the globalists together. 800-259-9231. Coming up at the start of the bottom of the hour segment, I will play a video that YouTube says violates their community standards for pointing out an article by Zero Hedge that pointed out an anomaly in an NBC News report concerning Sandy Hook. And so I'm going to air this again, and I'm going to challenge that it doesn't violate the rules, that it's being selectively enforced, and that it's a form of civil rights violation of the First Amendment and discrimination. It's just like a big credit card processing company that we're looking at suing. I just have to do this. I have to start some lawsuits against violators just to fight for my rights. They told us, we're not going to let you process credit cards and debit cards with us, even though you have a, AAA standing, 5-star rating, absolutely established 22-year credit card processing company that has the other big 3 credit card processors hooked into our system, not just PayPal. We're not going to do business with you. And they were dumb enough in emails to say, because of our political views. You think a gay couple can sue and win money because somebody wouldn't bake a cake? But then you guys say, because of my political views and what's misrepresented, that I am not allowed to engage in commerce? You people are crazy. I've run this by litigators, top law firms. It's win, 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 win. And I don't want the money from these suits. I don't want 2 years. And then they get to depose me and I get to depose them. But I'm gonna subpoena CEOs and people. I'm gonna start going after folks because I can't put up with it anymore. So we're gonna air what YouTube says you're not allowed to see. Coming up, it's only 4 minutes long. It's Owen Schroyer with a Zero Hedge headline. And then we're gonna go to your phone calls with our guest, John Rappaport. But hey, good luck, guys, because I'm launching more shows, more video platforms. Our own video platform has millions and millions of viewers every few days. We're not backing down. We're not giving up. We're getting more affiliates across the United States because America is done being intimidated. America is done bowing. America's done being called racist because you didn't want Obamacare, written by insurance companies and Republican fat cats to screw everybody over with the Democrats. Americans across the board, of every political stripe, of every skin color, of every religious background, including Muslims that don't want to be under radical Orthodox Islam, are sick of oppression, and we want freedom, and we want it now. But coming up at the bottom of the hour, I'll show you the letter from YouTube and what they say is not allowed. We're going to play the evil video. Zero Hedge discovers anomaly in Alex Jones' hit piece. And all it is Owen Schroyer playing 2 clips off the news side by side. And if they can censor that, and if they can shut us down for that, they can shut anybody down. And Twitter announced today, we've begun 10 times the censorship we were doing last year of anybody criticizing people we don't like. They can have the left saying, kill Trump, kill me, whatever. But let me tell you, you call somebody a liar, you call somebody an idiot, oh, they're going to shut you down. They got their trendy CEO up there. They got their trendy, click on that for TV viewers. This is how it's happening. And notice YouTube and Twitter and Facebook are all announcing the massive censorship launches now. Well, Google, we have the internal purchase order, millions of dollars to shut down InfoWars, saying Ron Paul's not credible, saying that the Syrian rebels were caught launching their own chemical attack, and reading a UN report. No, it's that Ron Paul is credible. And they said, due to him opposing a Syrian war and Jones having on these guests, we're going to delist him. but we're going to do it secretly because it's not credible. And they listed Ron Paul, and that I then played a clip of a congressman, and that it was too influential. They said he plays a congressman, and he plays Ron Paul, and then he has a Cy Hirsch clip, and it's just not credible. Because it's admitted that the Syrian rebels launched at least 3 chemical attacks. Congress has had hearings on it and confirmed it. The UN admits it, but because it was so credible that I went bam, 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 here's the clips, and said we shouldn't get no wider war, and Deep State wanted that. Then they shut it down. There it is, Ron Paul, 0 chance Assad behind chemical weapons attack in Syria, likely a false flag. I played that clip. I played Cy Hirsch, and I played a sitting congressman saying the same thing. And because it had consensus, and because they showed the UN report, and then we showed the rebels admitting they did it, because it was so credible, they put out a multi-million-dollar contract to delist me. And then guess what? Congress is investigating it, and so is the White House for antitrust, that case. And you notice now that contract's been canceled. And Google came out a week later and said, we did that on accident, we're canceling that contract, and then they started relisting us. Well, does Google think I'm dumb? When you've got your little knighted social justice warriors that are given these little chevrons, they actually give them little shield symbols in their email, that they're super mods, and then they can go ban our videos. I can't wait to depose them. I can't wait to get their ISPs and drag them into court. You un-American trash. You want to shut us up because we are credible. You want to shut us up because you know we're pulling back the curtain. Look right here. Trump ends covert CIA program to arm anti-Assad rebels in Syria, a move sought by Moscow. The Washington Post. Our Pentagon, 5 years ago on record, went to Obama and said, we're not going to be part of being in their Air Force, and said no, and then worked with the Russians to clear out the bad rebels. And now Assad's preparing to have elections and leave. And because our patriot military didn't go along with the deep state, we stopped a wider war. Now YouTube calls them YouTube heroes, where you gain points going around shutting down free speech. And you get directives. Google owns YouTube. They hire an outside group that then goes and then gives the orders to the mods so that Google can claim they weren't behind it. It's like hiring somebody to rob your neighbor's house, or I guess kill your wife or something. But you didn't do it yourself, you see. And they admit all this like we're idiots. Don't you know people, even though these are encoded emails, are giving us the information? Show tips at Infowars.com, whistleblowers at Infowars.com. If you're working as part of these groups to do this, send us the data. This is how we're going to defeat deep state. Joining us is John Rappaport of NoMoreFakeNews.com. He had that name 15 years ago for his website. He worked for some of the biggest TV and networks and news gathering and newspapers as an investigative journalist until he got disgusted with it over 20 years ago. He's a filmmaker, author, artist, you name it. NoMoreFakeNews.com. And he joins us to break this down. What do you call this moment we've reached? Because they're coming for us, but every time they do, it causes a Streisand effect.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And because more and more people are waking up and coming to the defense, you know, seeing what's really happening, they're fading. They keep trying and trying and trying. But, you know, these polls that show that 6% of the people are really interested or concerned about this whole Russia collusion insanity story that's being promoted and so on, all this gives them a clue. They're operating in this gigantic echo chamber and hoping to convince people that because they all tell the same lies to each other, that other people are interested. Well, it turns out that most other people don't care.
They have a name for that. It's called a circle jerk.
Yeah, they don't give a crap about any of this, you know? And so this gets exposed time and time again. And the liars keep on lying. They can't turn back now. You know, it's like when you've already jumped off the cliff, and now you say, gee, I wish I hadn't jumped off the cliff. I don't think that was such a great idea. Is there any way I can turn around in space and walk back up to the... No, you're already falling. So what are you going to do on the way down? You're just going to keep screaming the same lies over and over and over again until you hit bottom.
So it's like Wile E. Coyote when he runs out on the edge of a cliff and realizes he's already run too far, And a second
Right.
later, he drops. They've already kind of hit that point, but what do they have to lose?
Your guys are really quick here. They're putting it up on the screen already. Yeah, there he is, off the, too late, couldn't do it, couldn't come back, hovered in midair for a second.
You said 3-4 years ago with the Piers Morgan that it was a crack in the facade. It pulled back. People got deprogrammed for a moment. Trump's like a 10,000 times bigger than that moment. They are so panicked. Don't they get that even if they destroy him, Toto already pulled the curtain back?
Yeah, they don't. They're hoping that's not true, but it is, you see, because as I keep saying time and time again, don't just think it's Trump. You know, it's everybody. It's everybody who wants freedom and demands it. Freedom from surveillance, censorship, oppressive laws, child protective services, medical cartel, mandates that you have to get vaccinated with poisons. I mean, you could just stretch out the whole 9 yards. It's everybody who's sick and tired of the government intruding on their lives and causing them pain, suffering, and death, saying, we've had enough. Now we want something positive. Those people, all of us, we're not going anywhere. Where is there to go?
And there's nothing the globalists can do to convince us to go back with them. It's over.
Yeah. There's no way that, you know, they can say, well, come back on our side because we didn't really mean that, or, you know, we're not as bad as you think. No, they're worse than we think. And we know that. I mean, we've had them in our sights for a long
How many
time.
top Catholics and university heads are caught running giant child rape operations?
Yeah, how many do we need before we understand the whole picture there?
These are literal devil-worshipping pedophiles, folks. That's why they're into GMO and fluoride and poison and cancer and evil, because they literally are demon-possessed. I'm not kidding. I mean, when you come down to it, these are just evil people. We'll be back.
In ancient times, man roamed the earth in a constant state of hunting or being hunted. Introducing Caveman, where cutting-edge science meets ancient super nutrients. Secure your bottle right now at InfoWarsStore.com.